listening to the Morning Buzz here, 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. My favorite part about that is that when I did that, I just saw the headphone knobs all be turned back up after I screamed. And it's even better because Lara put hers on after I screamed.
Nice voice
Bro,
crack.
I
I'm really
had to
glad I
be
didn't hear it through the
prepared for that.
headphones.
Yeah, I did that. I was like, let's go through puberty again.
I was just gonna say that, but you know what? I didn't want to be too hard on you this morning.
No, it's okay. I told you this yesterday. It takes a lot to actually hurt me. Anyway, we have a show today. On our show today, we're going to be talking about a lot. We're going to be talking about the censure of a Republican representative in the House of Representatives. I forgot what that was called. We're
Good
going to
job.
talk about what Florida man did this time and an interview with Professor Keith Green about the world of PR.
Fun. I used to be a PR major.
I know. You told me yesterday.
Yeah. No, I told you before that too.
No, she didn't.
Newscast. Kelly, do it.
Alright.
Kelly Marr. I have to say her last name. Kelly Marr.
Kanan Shaman will serve 41 months in prison as he stormed the Capitol back on January 6th. Chansley was described as the public face of the riot. Jacob Chansley said, quote, "I admit to the world I was wrong. I have no excuses. My behavior was indefensible," end quote. Officials say federal financing for the $11.6 billion Gateway Rail Tunnel under the Hudson River could be in place by the end of 2022. The construction is estimated to be completed by 2035. Ballpreek Rural Verk said, quote, "We are looking to enter into engineering next year and hope to get a federal full funding grant by December and a summer of 2023 start," end quote. There will be a soft launch event for MSU's native land acknowledgement. The panel discussion will include a reflection on how K through 12 schools and teachers can do more to support Indigenous people and communities. This will be at 7 p.m. today in University Hall. Today's forecast is sunny with a high of 64 and a low of 41. The humidity level is 77% with an AQI of 60, so the air quality is moderate.
I give it about a B plus.
The weather?
Over
Oh.
grading.
Oh, we're great.
The
I was
weather?
mentally great, but now I'm telling you.
Well,
No, I'm
I
kidding.
can't
No, I'm
grade.
just kidding, Kelly. It's an A plus. It's always an A plus for you.
Appreciate it.
Of
Oh,
course.
I thought
I'm
you were
glad to-
grading the
You,
weather.
you
I'm
and
about to
Sal
say.
always get A pluses.
I'm glad to know
Right.
that the air quality is moderate. That's different
Yeah, it's
from
moderate. Yeah, it's not good today. It's
right.
moderate.
I was gonna say that.
Yep.
How do we judge
Are you judging
air
me
quality?
Absolutely.
and judging what I tell her to put into the script?
You're making just crucial eye contact with me.
Because I'm asking. All right, anyway, Sportscast Tanner Price.
A rematch of Super Bowl 51 takes place tonight as the New England Patriots travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons are seen as massive underdogs, so don't expect the Falcons to have a big lead. That could be good, as we know how that went last time. Sorry, Falcons fans.
that was good. I like that.
The Knicks couldn't
Tell
use
that
their
to Ben later.
the Knicks couldn't use their magic in Orlando last night, losing 104-98. New York fell to 8-7 with the loss. R.J. Barrett led the team with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Across town, the Nets defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 109-99. James Harden led the Nets with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, a much-needed performance for the struggling veteran. Brooklyn improved to 11-5 with the win. The Rangers look for their 5th straight win tonight when they travel up north for a bout with the Toronto Maple Leafs. These two met a month ago in Toronto with the Rangers winning by a score of 2-1 in overtime. The Devils take on the Florida Panthers tonight at 7. New Jersey looks to rebound following a heartbreaking 40 shootout loss to the Rangers on Sunday. But the Panthers are a tough team to face, especially at home. However, the Devils beat the Panthers 7-3 9 days ago. Sorry, Yankees fans, no Cy Young for Garrett Cole this year. Blue Jays pitcher Robbie Ray has won the award nearly unanimously with 29 first-place votes. Corbin Burns won on the National League side.
Corbin Blue?
Deep in the heart of Texas is where Justin Verlander has decided to stay. The Astros ace reportedly agreed to a 1-year, $25 million contract yesterday with an option for a second year worth the same value. The Yankees and Mets reportedly had interest, but ultimately he stays in H-Town. The MSU men's basketball team dominated Valley Forge yesterday by a final score of 115-73, a true team effort with 6 players recording 11 or more points for the Redhawks. The boys are back in action this Saturday at Centenary University.
Thank you, Tanner, for the sportscast. Let's move on to our top story of the day. The House censors Republican representative for a violent video in a rare rebuke. So the House voted Wednesday to censor Republican Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona for posting an animated video that depicted him killing Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with a sword. Calling the video a clear threat to a lawmaker's life, Democrats argued Gosar's conduct would not be tolerated in any other workplace and shouldn't be in Congress. The vote to censor Gosar and also remove him from his House committee assignments was approved by a vote of 223 to 207, which, if you ask me, is entirely way too close, and it was done almost entirely along party lines. Republicans Liz Cheney of Wyoming and Adam Kinzinger of Illinois were the only ones to vote in favor of the censor. Gosar had deleted the tweet days ago amid the criticism, but he retweeted the tweet late Wednesday, shortly after the vote was made.
Has to make my head. This listen.
How-
You can go.
How do you think to post something like that?
It's a question of don't think.
I'm sorry.
No, exactly.
And they can't say anything because y'all remember Kathy Griffin with her little headless Trump man stunt.
The thing,
The way they ripped
There's-
into her.
I feel like there's a difference. I
the
don't know.
thing that bothers me the most here is the fact that it was a close vote.
That's what I was
Yeah.
just gonna say.
Yeah,
This should have
thought-
been, what's that, 430 to 0?
Yeah,
This is
I don't understand why it was
inexcusable.
exactly. I don't understand why it was just so close.
This proves
it's someone in their workplace killing another person in their workplace. That's like
That's
how
what,
do you
That's like
expect- how do
Kenny
you think
threatening
that's-
Lara. It's just like unacceptable.
It's like
that's
that.
an
in any other
example.
in any other place it would be you're fired automatically. We don't have to even go to a vote to do that.
Yeah,
So,
that's another good point. There's no code of conduct that's, oh, you have to do this. If you do this, you're out. There's nothing like that. The closest to that is stuff for kind of like impeachment, but that's for the president. I don't know if there is that for the House or
and it
anything.
says
But
it
this
says in
also,
here only 2 Republicans voted in favor of it.
yep.
just two.
I talked about
So-
this, I think, it might have been last week's buzz, but the way politicians do stuff that anyone else gets a clear and cut, like you do this, you get fired.
All they get is a slap on the wrist,
Yeah.
and that's just not okay.
Why do we need a vote to decide whether or not you're going to
Yeah,
be held
you-
accountable?
Right?
You should be kicked out of whatever and never be allowed to go back to like any office ever because of that.
The thing that
And then he retweeted it again after criticism.
Because he didn't care. He was like
So he-
hoping
so
he could save his
clearly-
job.
Clearly he didn't care about it. So
something that has to be highlighted here is that this proves the importance of party lines in voting and in democracy, because we all know this to a certain degree. And it's something, I mean, we see it with things such as the quote unquote late night voting, because that's what it was called when John Adams back in the 1800s put a whole bunch of Supreme Court judges in the last minutes. It's similar to that in that this is all on party lines. That's what determines everything. And we've come to a point where I feel as though we have started not even accounting for common decency. This isn't even common decency. This is just civility.
Don't threaten your coworkers.
Don't threaten your coworker.
That's the
You would be
Bottom line.
charged with harassment, likely.
and
You would never be able to work in that company again. You wouldn't find a job for a very long time. The
it's
fact
not fair that he's not getting the punishments that other people would get.
yeah.
I've
because-
worked with people that got fired for making jokes, like casual jokes that I didn't even think were that bad. Like corporate would swoop down and be like, "No, unacceptable. We don't tolerate that in our happy McDonald's family."
this is
Get out."
corporate addressing itself at the highest level.
But
Pretty
it's
much.
like then you go on Congress and you can like go out and make
Yeah.
a statement like that. Your job is
If I
okay
got
with it.
if I got elected in, like I could just do whatever I want. I guess that's what I'm getting from this. But if
with this, it just keeps on making me think back to the having so little regard for being I don't even want to say good person, just being a person, really, because that you don't have to
This
be
is
a good
hu-
person to
yeah.
do that. This is just the least that we are asked to do.
Imagine the bare minimum to be asked, don't threaten your coworkers. That's the bare minimum in this
Yeah.
case.
I wonder how she's
Imagine-
feeling.
Exactly. I'm sure I can't even imagine.
Let's move on
I
to the
hate-
next story.
Okay.
Where
I will gladly bring you the next story.
that's why it said your name.
Cool.
No.
U.S. overdose deaths topped 100,000 in 1 year. An estimated 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses in 1 year, a never before seen milestone that health officials say is tied to the COVID-19 pandemic and a more dangerous drug supply. Overdose deaths have been rising for more than 2 decades, accelerated in the past 2 years, and then jumped nearly 30% in the last year. President Joe Biden called it a tragic milestone in a statement, as administration officials pressed Congress to devote billions of dollars to address the problem. Experts believe the top drivers of overdose deaths are growing by wow, that's words. Yeah. Which left many drug users societally isolated, unable to get treatment for other support. Drug overdoses now surpass deaths from car crashes, guns, and even flu pneumonia. The total is close for that diabetes is the nation's number 7 cause of death.
Do they specify what specific drugs are doing the majority of it, or do they just
Not
I think it's just an
necessarily.
overall.
It's an overall. However, they say that they believe that it's due to the prevalence of fentanyl, in which fentanyl, when it's in the drug supply, it's not so typically
Mhm.
on purpose. It's usually laced with fentanyl, and people buy, for example, they'll buy marijuana, and it'll be laced with that, and they'll smoke fentanyl and die.
It's just sad.
Mhm.
yeah.
Now, I want to bring up the topic of drug regulation here. So, how do we feel about the regulation of drugs? I know that in I believe it was 2020 elections, that I think it may have been Washington legalized all drugs,
Mm.
or some state did recreationally and had it in a moderate form. And I've done research on this just out of curiosity.
Mm.
And this is the kind of thing that, when done correctly, and there are European countries that do this, when done correctly, it can be beneficial for the people because it's regulated. And if they have to get what they physically need, because at this point, it is a physical need if they go without it. And that's not a good thing, but their system relies on it. Doesn't mean that's good, but that gives them a safe supply
Mhm.
of what's necessary.
I think it's
Not
like you
necessary,
said.
but they feel like it's necessary.
I
Mhm.
think it's like you said, when done correctly, it can work.
Mhm.
I do have strong opinions that the quote unquote war on drugs has been weaponized over the years. Like we've seen
It has.
people go away
Mhm.
for you could kill someone and go away for a shorter amount of time than you could if a cop caught you with like a baggie of marijuana.
Mhm.
And that to me always stood out to me, didn't make sense to me. And it became a question of, at this point, why are they illegal? Like, I understand why there's regulations to them, but I don't understand like making them illegal. That's what I never understood. It's one of those things where it's like you recognize the need for regulation while also not wanting to go to the extent of banning. And there's a lot of things I could go on topics about so much other than drugs that kind of fall into that same line where people don't understand the difference between let's ban it all together and let's make sure you know what you're doing.
I just want to give a fact check on something I said before. I knew it was one of the states. I thought it was Washington. It was Oregon that decriminalized all drugs.
West Coast, you were in the right area.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those two.
Yeah. Just the one
Sorry,
thing
continue.
I was done.
just the one thing that stood out to me is that the drug overdoses surpass car crashes, guns, and the flu and pneumonia.
The way I think about that is that I know there's a statistic. It's roughly you have about a 1 in 60 chance of, I don't know if it's getting a car crash in your life or dying in a car crash in your life. when you put that in perspective of the overdoses, now that they're in a respectable proximity to car crashes, you can really see, you can understand, you can gauge just how many people this affects. You can walk into a room of 60 people, and one of them, one of these people will die from an overdose at this current rate. So, Kelly, I'm curious about you because drug decriminalization is something that has been going on everywhere. And in Oregon, it's heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, other drugs. They're all personal use. It's no longer an offense. It's against the law. You can't sell them or anything like that, but it's not an offense to own them in huge amounts. Kelly, what do you think?
All right, here's what I think. Well, one, I just read an article the other day that, and I have it up now, is that there is overdoses for drugs that people don't know that they're taking. That's one thing. And then, I don't know. I mean, does it surpass the deaths in total? That's what I want to know. Does it surpass deaths in total of car crash guns even and the flu?
No, it's on each are measured
it's
separately.
together. So yeah, I don't know if I have too much of an opinion on this, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so Lara, please take us to our next story.
You got it. Wall High School athletic director placed on leave in aftermath of hazing probe. Wall High School athletic director Tom Riddux has been placed on administrative leave, joining 3 other district employees who also have been suspended in the wake of an ongoing hazing probe of the football team. And his suspension came to light towards the end of Tuesday night's school board meeting when his employee ID number was voted for approval of administrative leave. NJ Advanced Media traced the employee ID number through his internet school documents. It's unclear if his leave is paid or unpaid, or if it's directly tied to the ongoing hazing probe. Geez, hazing.
Hazing. This is something that
This
we
looks quite
reported
hazy.
on Monday. The Monday show reported on this as well.
Sorry.
You okay?
No, I just made a really bad joke.
I didn't hear what the joke was, so let's
I
just
said this
pretend it
is-
never happened.
I said this is really hazy.
Oh, Lara.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So the athletic director, I'm confused about hazing in general as a process. Hazing, it is the oldest form that I could think, not the oldest form, but one of the oldest forms of toxic masculinity that I could think of in male sports and just in general, really. And I can't speak to this because obviously I'm a man, but I know you did cheer in high school.
Yeah.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but is there any sort of hazing with female athletics?
Well, it honestly, not that I've seen in my school, lucky enough, it's kind of a tough little, I haven't really seen anything with the, well, I haven't personally, but I've heard stories about the seniors and some freshmen, sophomores kind of making them do stuff just to do stuff. I don't know. But
Yeah, and I remember
it's
this.
not cool.
Sorry, say that, Tanner.
Oh, I've been around locker rooms like this. I haven't been in like a high school sport locker room, but I could like see how this happens. Like just being in around some of the people from all these teams, I could see how it happens and how they get away with it too.
It's a constant cycle that is repeated and not
happened-
questioned, and a lot of times it's done so without.
It happened
Thinking-
in Steyerville a couple years ago, and I guess, and nothing really changed. There was nothing really put into effect to change that because we see here it happened again. So
It did, and this makes me think it's a comedy TV show, but there's an episode. It's called My Name Is Earl, which is a we have a guest in studio. I just saw him chuckle. He knows what show I'm talking about. It's a great show, but in My Name Is Earl, there's an episode where the 2 brothers who lead the show, they go to a college and they're there for a few days to do something, and the one gets taken in by one of the fraternities, and he's even pledged and everything, and he's at the hazing. What do you want to call it? Ceremony?
Oh, I would call it an interrogation, but I was just going to bring up Greek life.
Initiation.
And it's,
That's the
thank you, Professor Green. We'll talk to you in like 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna butt into your show here. I'm kidding.
It
Please
works.
do.
I don't care.
Please
You
do.
made me look smart. Hazing initiation, and he's about to get paddled, and then he stops and he's like, "Why do you all do this to each other?" And they're saying it's because that guy did it to me, and that guy did it to me, and they're all pointing at each other, and then they just start all hitting each other. It's a cycle. While that's meant as a funny moment in TV show, a lot of comedy is based in reality, in that the jokes, they come from somewhere, from a sense of truth. That is the case for 99% of jokes. And this is no difference in that somebody on the writer's team, this had to be written into the show. Somebody on the writer's team knows that this is the truth. And I imagine that most of us do. We know that it's cyclical, and we know that it's done just for lack of a better term, revenge.
Yeah. This one guy I worked with over the summer, he went through something like that with his fraternity. He goes to Rutgers, and he had to back out, and he said, I can't do this.
I used to go to Rutgers, and I know people there who have done some bad things.
Yeah.
Because that it gets even worse when it's on a larger level, especially in a school like Rutgers. There are dozens of different fraternities there, and the school is the biggest, one of the biggest in the country. It's biggest in the state, one of the biggest in the country.
It's huge.
It is huge.
And there's a problem that's not being addressed.
Yeah, and it's amazing because on certain, I know people who are presidents of fraternities. I know, I guess, 2 people now, and a guy who's also vice president. And these are different schools altogether. And luckily, I haven't heard about hazing in either of those. But in my opinion, the kind of person who promotes hazing and is okay with it, and is not only okay with it, but perpetuating it, such as being somebody who's in charge of one of these, is someone that I personally couldn't trust.
Mhm.
It's kind of like ordering something, not a hit, because that doesn't apply to this, but it's ordering something along the lines to happen to someone, and it's not even you doing it.
Yeah.
It's blind. It's being a blind bystander.
Pretty much.
It's not even blind. You're the one that
You're-
agreed to it.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I thought about doing Greek life and X, Y, and Z, but at the end of the day, I realized maybe this is not for me. But then I looked into what the deeper issue is, and it's like, oh, this could possibly happen to you, to me, to anybody, and that's not okay.
There are deaths that happen with this.
I've watched movies of like like Animal House. I know that's a comedy movie, but it's real stuff in there, and it shows how some of how it is in that. There's a scene where they show the initiation thing, and I was watching it, and this was about like 2 months ago, and I watched it, and I was like, I'm not doing Greek life because I know this could go on.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you're a freshman. You're completely new to this entire
Yep.
thing.
yeah.
That, I mean, really, we could talk about this for the whole 2 hours, but we'd really just be repeating ourselves the entire time. So we're gonna move on to our next story. This one is about the coronavirus and traveling for the holidays and what will happen in some Montclair schools. With the coronavirus vaccine now approved for kids ages 5 and older, some students and families are finally having some relief. However, Montclair public and private schools remain wary that holiday travel could increase the risk of the virus spreading in their classrooms. And in the case of at least one Catholic school, required quarantines after travel could lead to unexcused absences. Any absences incurred during this school during travel or quarantine after a trip are considered unexcused. And not only that, remote learning is not offered.
Jeez, I haven't heard quarantine in a while, if I'm being honest.
I actually
Just
didn't
a
think
word.
about that.
Right?
When we get back to that. Anyway, as for this, I could understand to a certain degree not offering them as excused absences, because they are willingly assuming it's not something for medical or anything like that. They are willingly making the decision to leave the state and go wherever they are going. However, not offering any kind of remote learning during a mandatory quarantine, I feel like that's a different
That's
level.
not fair.
Yeah.
So
I feel
let me get this straight. Sorry. So
No, you can just join us. I don't care.
Yeah.
Cool. So
This is Professor Keith Green
so
of the School Communication
students and
Media,
their
by the way.
families are going out of state
Yes,
for whatever on their own choice to go see family.
family, whatever. Yeah.
So when the students come back, and if they share this information, I guess that's really the key, right?
Mhm.
So if they share this information with with the school administrators, then they are being forced to quarantine, meaning they can't come back to school and they're not being offered a remote learning option.
They're not.
And
I can
also
understand
Seems a
a-
little aggressive. to me.
Exactly.
I
I
agree.
could understand the quarantine.
They
That makes sense. But not offering an option
Yeah.
is completely different.
and most of these kids are probably they probably can't really decide if they're going on vacation or not.
It's up
That's
to
a great
parents.
point.
It's not like a spring break where like there'll be college students going down to Miami and stuff.
Yeah.
These kids probably don't. Their parents are like, "No, you're going."
Mhm.
Yeah, what are you
So-
gonna do if
And
you as a
you're
parent?
not gonna put you're not gonna put a kid. Their family could be going out to wherever, and they're just gonna be staying home because they have to be in school, and that's not. It's
for
a
a
little-
parent, if you want to go to Aruba, right, and you have a 4-year-old kid, what's he gonna do? Leave that kid at home for a week, or you could pay probably a few $100s for a babysitter on top of that.
100.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have kids.
I don't know either. I was gonna ask if you were a babysitter, but
Oh, I don't
It
know. Well, I
also-
imagine.
it also
Well, that's
leads-
not for a 4-year-old. That's constant. That's round the clock.
that's
There
true.
has to be
with
somebody there.
this-
Going to
That's probably at
school.
least 1,000.
Yeah,
That's living with them for if it's for a week. That's for 7 days.
it's a lot. That's a lot of time.
1,000 divided by 7. That's like what? 200 a day. So it's about $10 an hour.
Okay, Mr. Math Man. Sorry.
And with this,
Never gonna let me forget that.
these kids are more likely to lie and say they didn't go anywhere.
Right.
They're gonna say, Oh,
And
well.
not only that, I think their
and that
parents,
could lead
Their
that
parents are
could
gonna be
lead to
coming back.
even more COVID cases.
Mhm.
parents will probably promote them.
That's what I was just gonna
Yeah,
say. The
they're
kids
gonna
aren't
say,
gonna think of it.
Say,
They're gonna
hey,
say, I want you to go on vacation, but I don't want you to miss school. Just say you didn't go on vacation.
Yeah. Plus, the kids, kids have no filter. I mean, I worked with kids over the summer.
they say the
Yeah.
the expression
Darnest
is that the
things.
only honest people on the planet are drunk people and children.
Absolutely.
That's the expression.
My sister worked at a summer camp, and the stories from there are insane from that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I have two, and they're like in this case, they're probably just gonna say, "Oh yeah, went on vacation, LOLs, had a great time, saw my
Yeah, their
family."
parents will
and
say, "Do not tell anyone you went on vacation." The
"Hey guys,
first
I went on
day,
vacation."
I went on vacation.
I think we all have to ask ourselves not to get into this because we could talk about this for 2 hours too.
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like what's
All of
the
our stories for
what's
today.
the end game here for a school like that, or just in general, right? So you're telling kids that they can't go out of state with their families and they have to quarantine, but are they also requiring the kids to be vaccinated, be tested? Like
Yeah,
wear a
what's
mask.
the end
Yeah.
game here? Like this can't continue like this in this
Mhm.
fashion forever. It just can't.
I agree.
Yeah,
It
but-
just can't.
Plus,
There's
these
no-
kids probably haven't seen their family in God knows
Yeah.
how long.
Yeah, what if you're traveling out of state for this? I have a brother
what
who
if-
I haven't
what if
seen.
there's going to be cases where family members might be flying into New Jersey?
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's the same issue.
Right. Why is that any different? Well,
It's not yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Exactly. I have a brother that I haven't seen in nearly 3 years, and he is coming here in just a week from, not even a week, a few days. And I can imagine that there's people on the other end of that where they're leaving the state to see people they haven't
Yeah.
seen. And for some young people, as long as they can remember,
Yeah.
and being punished for that is something that's ridiculous. But something that we all agree on here is that they need a quality education. Before we come back with our interview with Professor Green, we have a PSA about the NJEA quality education. Welcome back to the Morning Buzz here at WMSC 90.3 FM. Now we're going to officially start our interview with Professor Keith Green of the School of Communication and Media. He is a PR expert specialist. If you don't know what PR stands for, it means public relations. That is basically, correct me if I'm wrong because you're the expert, advertising for a company yourself. You're advertising for your own company, kind of, in a way. You're handling how the public perceives your company. That's a much better description.
Yeah, the public
You did good job.
perception part of it certainly is a huge part of it. Advertising is slightly separate in terms of.
As soon as I said it, I was like, that's not right.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay.
No,
So
you're
it's a good question. I'll explain it very quickly. So,
please do.
and I talk about this in all of my classes, but advertising and public relations are all sort of subsets of marketing, at least in my opinion. And advertising is using a paid approach to get your word out about your company, or shape your company's image, while public relations in a this is very broad
Mhm.
definition, is what they call an earned media opportunity, where you are pitching the press about your story, your brand, your organization, or your cause, and you're not paying for that story, whether it's on, a digital site or TV programming or some kind of video programming or radio station or whatever it is. So you're not paying for that. So that, in sort of a very, very broad sense, is sort of the difference between advertising and PR. I mean, I could talk about the nuances of it all day, but that's sort of the basic difference.
Well, I want to ask you specifically about Haw Communications. So at the School of Communication and Media, it seems that we have programs for anything a student is interested in. Because I'm here. I've been here for maybe a year and a half, 2 years now, and I just see it everywhere. There's PRs. I don't know. I just have to make the comment, And there's seemingly everything. We've got WMSC right here. We've got the Montclair News Lab, Red Hawk Sports Network, and now we have Haw Communications, which has been there for a couple years now. And this is something that I feel like we're the School of Communication and Media.
Yep.
We have a lot of media, not so much in the way of communication. And I like that this is expressing what came first before the media.
Sure.
Can you tell us about Haw Communications?
Sure, absolutely. And before I forget, let me actually just make a plug too for
go ahead.
advertising, because we are actually starting a new advertising major.
Really?
So starting in the fall,
Very
students who
cool.
are interested in coming into the school, many students don't know about it. They can either come into that major as a freshman, or they can switch if they're interested in. So advertising is becoming a more important part of our curriculum. So instead of just offering classes here and there, students can actually major in it starting in the fall, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
something that should be a major.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. No question.
Don Draper would approve.
Yes, Don Draper would very much approve. Great show. So anyway, Haw Communications, to your point, we are an agency. Okay, we are built, structured, designed to run just like and I hate to even use the word public relations agency, because the field of public relations has changed so much the last 15 to 20 years. So it's not just pitching media anymore or shaping a company's image. Everything in terms of content continues to converge, and a public relations practitioner is responsible for so many more things in addition to, again, pitching the press and shaping a company's image, or ghostwriting an op-ed piece for somebody, writing press releases. It goes so far beyond that. But this agency that we've structured it's great for students for a number of different reasons. First of all, some students are sort of trying to figure out what they want to do with their careers, of course, right?
Mhm.
And if they step into this agency environment, they can figure out, well, maybe this is something that I want to do. I want to go work for some kind of strategic communications agency or PR agency. And it also allows students to bridge the gap between an on-campus experience and either an internship or a job in the field. We don't want students who are part of Haw Communications to use that as a replacement for an internship. We want it to bridge the gap to an internship. Okay. And what we do is that we bring in clients from outside the university, so local businesses and nonprofits, and also initiatives and programs within the university for the students to work on. So they're working with real clients and doing actual work right here on campus for them. So whether it's pitching press, managing their social programs, creating content, they get to do all of that right here in this building, not under my direction necessarily, but they work obviously in concert with the clients. And I of course guide them throughout the semester when they have questions, challenges, or whatever it might be. It's really fun.
It's similar to our faculty advisor here at WMSC. It's there to, for lack of a better term, pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
If something explodes.
Right. And that's part of it. Certainly, I don't want to call it crisis, but client management is part of it. And so the students learn far beyond just the technical skills of writing press releases or creating content or working in social media platforms. They learn leadership, they learn teamwork, they learn how to handle, client issues. Some clients are quite honestly a lot better and more responsive than others. And some of the students will come to me and say, I don't know what to do. This client is not responding in a proper way or fashion or quickly enough for us to get the work done that he or she asked. So I will sit down with them and say, okay, let me walk you through how you try to respond or sort of nudge somebody to get a response that's going to help you help them.
Yeah, I think it's so great that you have these hands-on experiences, because personally, that's how I learn as a student.
Yeah.
I know that's a lot of people learn as well. So one of the benefits of a program like this,
Mhm.
it gives students to be involved in a pre-professional environment where mistakes are able to be made, but not fireable. at least for right now. In the future, we'll see. But how do you create an environment like this successfully?
It's a great question. So for me, a lot of it is at the start of the semester, just outlining what my expectations are in terms of how they should communicate with their client and how they should collaborate with their team. So that's everything. And some of this will sound simple, but it's everything from understanding how the client prefers to communicate. Some of them prefer email, some of them prefer text, some of them prefer, as weird as it sounds for older people, like, some sort of chat function, right? So figuring that out, like what's the best way that you want to communicate, right? Doing things like sending meeting agendas 24 hours in advance so the clients have time to look at them. Each student team meets with each client once a week, whether it's a Zoom, usually it's a Zoom call now. So just setting sort of expectations in terms of how you conduct things professionally from both a communication, a meeting, and then an execution standpoint on the back end, again, whether it's pitching media or social media content management or content creation, whatever it might be. We have students that go out to in the field and are capturing content at different events, which is a great experience for them. So they learn, hey, what do you do when you go on site for an event, right? And a lot of us haven't done that in 18 months. So we talk that through as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When a student does eventually get into their actual career, and in this case, hopefully PR, if they're pursuing Haw Communications, how much will having been a part of a program like this give them a leg up on other people who may not have had something like Haw Communications?
I've had some of my former students tell me that they were able to get internships and jobs because of this experience. And to me, that's what it's all about, right? So I've always taken the approach from an instructor's perspective of, I'm not here just to teach you, I'm here to help you advance your career, get your internships, get your first jobs. And I actually have students say to me, should I list this on my resume? I'm like, it should be like one of the first things on your resume. And one of the things we didn't talk about is that this is actually, students actually take this as a class. It's a 400 level class.
Mhm.
So it's a little different from the experience here, I believe, right?
It's similar to a news lab.
It's similar to news lab. Exactly. And I say to them, I said, you're not being dishonest about it, but like nobody has to know you took it as a class. Just list it as Haw Communications. And they're like, do I list the clients? I'm like, you absolutely list the clients you work for. And we have great clients. We work with the Garden State Wine Growers Association, New Jersey Warriors, which is an ice hockey team that focuses on having our U.S. veterans get together and heal through the power of ice hockey. And then we also work with, ironically, another ice hockey group called the Monarchs, where this focuses on students with and kids mostly with disabilities who, again, get together and sort of heal and learn through the power of ice hockey. And the cool thing is both of those organizations actually do some practices and games right here on campus in our arena. So
That's great.
yeah.
So when you do create an education environment like Haw Communications, something important is the balance between the student being treated as an adult, but also a student. How do you find a healthy balance between those two?
Sometimes they need to be reminded of that. Yes, they're taking this as a class, and yes, you're a student, but you still want to present yourself professionally. And oftentimes that is, I sit on some of the meetings. I can't possibly sit on each of the meetings because we have 9 clients. And so think about the math on that. So I will pick and choose when I can sit on client calls, which is really fun. And I just get to observe. And then I just give some feedback as to what I think could have been communicated either better or what they could do to improve in different areas. And I always tell them throughout the duration of the semester, I am here to help you. If you're not sure how to position something on a pitch, or if you're not sure what your client is even saying, like if they send something to you that's not very clear, like I'm here to work with you. And it's a great question because it's also, quite honestly, it can be challenging to grade something like that because it's a little subjective. So as I go over each class, each time I teach this, I actually change things a little bit each and every class that I teach, including this one, and try to just provide students with the opportunity to give feedback. They do recap documents for the clients, which is a great way for me to grade their work. So it's a good question. It can be challenging for sure.
100%.
I want to approach this from the perspective of one of the clients.
Mhm.
How do they feel about working with students as their PR managers?
They love it. And the clients that we work with, we're doing so because there's a need, right? And they know that they are going to have high quality work produced for them. And almost every time it's more than one student. So they're getting a little sort of army of students. Sometimes it's only 2, but sometimes it's 5 or 6 or more, depending upon the needs of the clients and the size of my class. So they love it. They're all about it. And one of the things that we also do is make sure that we fill the gaps for them between semesters. So to your point, like, hey, this is a student experience. How might they feel about it? Well, it's not exactly ideal from the standpoint of like, we don't have students, all year round, obviously. So I have all of my students do some planning and, doing stuff in content calendars on Hootsuite or Canva or whatever it might be in terms of social media posting and getting things ready for them during that sort of gap in between, both the winter semesters and when it's applicable to between the spring and the fall semesters.
Thank you, Professor Green, for coming in. We really appreciate it, especially with, I mentioned it in the top of this, that we have a lot of media here in school communication media, but this provides some more communication.
Yeah, it does. If I could just say one more thing very quickly.
Go for it.
Students interested in learning more about the class, I still have some spots open for the spring, but they can visit hawcomms.com there's a webpage that the university has graciously put up, so they can find out more information. And I actually have business students too, business and marketing students who are enrolled in the class for next semester too. So it's not just students in the School of Communication and Media, which is great.
It's an important thing to
Amazing.
know if you're in those other fields, really just in business in general.
Yep.
But one thing that's for sure is that at PR, everybody is always talking. They know what's going on. This song is Everybody Talks. Welcome back to the Morning Buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Now we're going to be taking to our music segment, Music News. JT Bethea, please take it away.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? How are you doing? I don't care. Anyway, today in music, we are starting off with the Beatles. 1963, the Beatles received the silver LP disc for Please, Please Me, and with the Beatles at a ceremony held at EMI House in London. They also received a silver EP for Twist and Shout and a silver single for She Loves You. Does she? Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. In 2003, following the allegations of sexual abuse of a 12-year-old boy, police raided Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Jackson denied the allegations, but the search came the day that his latest greatest hits album, #1, was released in the US. Man, that's a mouthful. And in 1986, LL Cool J releases his debut album, Radio, the first album ever issued on Def Jam Records. It goes platinum, and it makes LL the first solo act on par with reigning rap kings like Run DMC. Skipping Billboard, because there's nothing interesting on there this week, we're going to move on to the top stories in music.
This story comes from billboard.com.
So we still have Billboard.
Yes.
Billboard
On Wednesday afternoon, November 17th, rapper and music executive Young Dolph was killed in a shooting outside a store in Memphis. A source tells Billboard, according to Fox 13 Memphis, the shooting took place at a Makeda's Cookies, where police located Dolph and pronounced him dead on the scene. Dolph is 36 years old. May he rest in peace. Moving on. Midtown Manhattan. 3 people were shot in a dispute that started in a Midtown building, apparently being rented for a music performance that night. The dispute spilled onto West 38th Street, where 3 were shot around 10:30 p.m. Police say there was a 27-year-old man that was shot in the stomach and a 24-year-old man in the torso. Both were found in the performance space. A 19-year-old man was found shot in the leg on East 37th and Madison Avenue. Well, in more cheery news,
Wow.
Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello have ended their 2-year relationship. They announced Wednesday that they've broken up, but will, quote unquote, continue to be best friend. The pair shared a matching statement signed Camila and Shawn on their respective Instagram stories. Statement said, "Hey guys, we've decided to end our romantic relationship, but our love for one another as humans is stronger than ever. We started a relationship as best friends and we'll continue to be best friends. We so appreciate your support from the beginning and moving forward.
Hey guys.
No,
so
I
we're
was
breaking up.
I was gonna
guess,
say it's so
um,
casual. Hey guys, we're not together anymore. Anyway,
Hey guys. He cheated on me. He didn't actually do that. I just wanted to say that because that'd be funny.
he did not do that.
So me and Lara,
Hey guys. He broke my heart.
But like that's okay.
But it's okay because we're best friends.
We're besties.
We're
Always.
besties.
before
Linda
the
and-
show, Lara and I were discussing, and
Oh.
I had to bring up a common conspiracy theory.
Oh no.
The Shawn and Camila PR stunt relationship.
They did it. Let's get Professor Green back in here.
Right, exactly. Okay. I'm gonna say what I said before, but the listeners have not heard me say it. So I'm gonna say it. At first, I think it possibly was a PR stunt because they were trying too hard to play it off as a normal couple.
Remember the
Okay.
fish
It's a
kiss?
PR stunt when they took. I knew for a fact it was when there was that video where they basically licked each other's tongues.
Stop.
No, that was
Why are we
because
talking
everybody, because
about
there
that?
was a video that got released of them kissing, and people were like, "Oh my god, they don't know how to kiss."
They were just
So they just did that to make fun of those people.
they were just no, it's just they were too over the top. It's just you're trying to play it cool, but you're not. You're not one of the cool kids. Please.
You're not.
You can't sit with us. You're wearing sweatpants today, Regina.
stop. But maybe they've I feel like they are friends,
Noted reference.
but they went, hey,
They're probably friends.
of course they're friends, but they're like, hey, let's do this PR thing. Because didn't they release music at the same time?
Senorita.
Yeah,
No.
the lyrics, the second lyric to that,
Senorita.
the
I
second lyric to that
Happy hour?
song is now
Stop.
out.
We're not saving for that.
it's actually not a bad idea.
It's
The
not.
second lyric,
I-
the second line of that song is now
I love
outdated
that song.
because it's.
Do you?
I love that song.
When
I was sick of it when it first came out. Then it grew on me.
when I did cheer, we had a band dance to Havana.
Oh God.
Havana.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Havana, oh na na.
Oh.
Yeah. And the same like actual dance portion was what we also did for I think it was Treasure. Yeah, we did the same moves for both songs.
Treasure. Wow, wow.
It wasn't my favorite band dance. We did the electric slide. It was very fun. But back to Shawn
That
and
would be,
Camilla
that would be
because
fun.
they're done. I can't believe it's been 2 years since they
it's
got
not
together.
Shawn and Camilla now. It's Shawn
Listen,
and
Camilla.
Camilla.
the
Shawn
song-
Mendes
Camila.
and Camilla Cabello.
That
Yes.
relationship, I kept on forgetting that was a thing.
Me
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be
too.
forgetting Shawn Mendes exists. I won't
Honestly,
lie.
same.
You know,
Like Camila Cabello is just
There.
the singer that was
isn't
on
she the
Fifth
newest
Harmony.
Cinderella?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I watched
Yeah.
a YouTube video of them just explaining the whole new Cinderella. And it basically was, oh my gosh, feminism, but done wrong.
That's like every other Netflix original.
She didn't really have any character arc. She didn't really have obstacles, I would say. Everything was just kind of handed to her. But I feel like if they approach it in a different way, it could have been done very well done.
Isn't that
I heard it was bad.
Cinderella?
Yeah, it was bad. That's why.
Tanner heard it was bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I
it
heard
on
was bad too.
Amazon Prime?
Yes, it was.
That explains it.
Well,
Is it weird? I don't care. I just think it's
That-
funny.
hey
but-
guys, I'm in the Cinderella movie. Sorry.
You can't. Why
Did
do we
you-
care
have-
about
did you
celebrity
see the-
relationships?
Why
It's
I
not?
don't
just
know.
like,
I don't
who
know.
cares? Like, I don't like. We know it's gonna happen. We know y'all don't know how to act on live. We know half the time y'all ruin each other's lives by getting into the relationship. Kanye, Kim.
Wait, who's
Whoa.
Kanye?
Me.
Yay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure.
By the way, it's yay, not e. Anyway, we know it happens.
Sorry.
Like we're like celebrities should just stay single. Like once you hit that certain peak,
Yeah.
you're good. You don't need a relationship unless it's somebody that you've known, that you've taken into your life. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I blow up, I'm sticking with mine. I'm not trying to go for a Kardashian because why? Because they ruined Kanye's life.
Well, to be JT,
I think
fair,
Kanye ruined his own life. Or sorry,
He
Ye
did
ruined his
that,
own life.
But like having a Kardashian doesn't help. Anyway, if you want a real thing, look at Jay-Z. Like people like to compare Kanye and Jay-Z all the time. Look at how they do. Look at how those two turned out. Now look at their wives. End
I
of
see.
discussion.
JT, I do agree with you, but at the end of the day, to remember that they're humans too, and they're allowed to experience relationships.
Yeah.
And I
Know what's gonna happen.
of course, but I think it's harder for them to date, so they date other celebrities just because of how
They understand.
they-
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't
Wasn't
really just go
Ultimate-
out with like some random guy, some random person on the street
Not the fans either.
because it'll be you'll have every news outlet like this celebrity is
It's a modern
dating
day
some guy,
Cinderella.
and then they'll
He chose
they'll
the
look
fairest
into
in the
that
land.
person's entire history.
This was literally the plot of that one
Oh, wait,
Disney
that's Snow
original
White.
movie, Starstruck.
That's not why I shook my head.
Like,
Stop.
did you guys ever watch that? Anybody a Disney head around here?
What?
That one Disney Channel original Starstruck? That's literally the plot of it.
Oh my god! Wait. What's his
Oh.
name?
Christopher Wilde.
No.
The real
Yes.
Sterling Knight.
Yes,
and,
Oh well,
yes.
Christopher Wilde's the character's
Danielle
name.
Campbell.
Yes, I watched
Daniela
that.
Campbell. That's
My
her name.
sister
That was a
watched
fanfic.
that on repeat.
Can I just say, looking back at it as a 19-year-old, that story is fan fiction before fan fiction,
Yes.
right?
And
I remember
Lara
seeing-
coming from the queen of fan fiction. I've been through her Wattpad. She knows.
I want to see.
Don't call me out like that, JT.
I remember seeing commercials for that, but I never watched it.
Her Wattpad?
Starstruck. The song? Starstruck.
Happy hour. On the morning
Happy hour in
buzz.
the morning.
Kenny hates us.
Kenny loves it here.
See, when Ben left this show, I was like, okay, we'll stay on topic sometimes.
No.
We're
Never.
on topic of celebrity relationships.
Oh, yay. So close. Well, you just brought us back to the topic by saying that. So thank you.
Anytime.
But speaking of celebrity relationships, when we come back to our second hour, we're going to be speaking about a not so celebrity relationship, but also a celebrity relationship at the same time. You want to find out what it is? Just stay tuned. Morning Buzz. That's the show you're listening to. This is the Morning Buzz here at WMSC 90.3 FM. That was a PSA, or no, an ID about the moon landing. That's always cool. But we have got a whole much cooler things in store. We're going to be talking about Jim and Pam, a teddy bear, and Florida Man this hour. Stay tuned. You're going to hear about all of it. That was probably one of my best teases I've ever come up with.
Good job,
and
Kenny.
I did it off the top of my head.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Tom.
Dude, that's why I'm in charge of the show.
Always.
Well,
we stand Kennedy over here.
Would you say you're the manager of the show?
No.
Would you call this an office?
No, I wouldn't. We can call it an office in about 2 minutes after the
That's-
newscast and sportscast.
Oh, rats.
Newscast.
Tease.
Kelly.
Candace Shawn will serve 41 months in prison as he stormed the Capitol back in January 6th. Chansley was described as the public face of the riot. Jacob Chansley said, quote, "I admit to the world I was wrong. I have no excuses. My behavior was indefensible," end quote. Officials say federal financing for the $11.6 billion Gateway Rail Tunnel under the Hudson River could be in place by the end of 2022. The construction is estimated to be completed by 2035. While Rural Verk said, quote, "We are looking to enter into engineering next year and hope to get a federal full funding grant by December and a summer of 2023 start," end quote. There will be a soft launch event for MSU's Native Land Acknowledgement. The panel discussion will include a reflection on how K through 12 schools and teachers can do more to support Indigenous students and communities. This will be at 7 p.m. today in University Hall. Today's forecast is sunny with a high of 64 and a low of 41. And for our weekly weather, Friday the 19th, it will be sunny with a high of 50 and a low of 26. Saturday, sunny is high of 49 and a low of 37. Sunday, it is cloudy with a high of 54 and a low of 52. Monday, it will be rainy with a high of 57 and a low of 36. Tuesday, it will be cloudy with a high of 42, a low of 33. And Wednesday, it will be partly sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 38.
Tanner, tell us about sports.
A rematch of Super Bowl 51 will take place tonight as the New England Patriots travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons are seen as massive underdogs in this game, so don't expect the Falcons to have a big lead. That could be good, as we know how that went last time. Sorry, Falcons fans. The Knicks couldn't
It's funnier
use their
the
magic.
second time.
The Knicks couldn't use their magic in Orlando last night, losing 104 to 98. New York fell to 8-7 with the loss. RJ Barrett led the team with 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. Across town, the Nets defeated the Cavaliers 109 to 99. James Harden led the Nets with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, a much-needed performance for the struggling veteran. Brooklyn improved to 11-5 with the win. The Rangers look for their 5th straight win tonight when they travel up north for a bout with the Toronto Maple Leafs. These two met a month ago in Toronto, with the Rangers winning by a score of 2-1 in overtime in a tightly contested game. The Devils take on the Florida Panthers tonight at 7. New Jersey looks to rebound following a heartbreaking 4-3 shootout loss to the Rangers on Sunday. But the Panthers are a tough team to face, especially at home. However, the Devils beat the Panthers 7-3 9 days ago. Sorry, Yankees fans, no Cy Young for Garrett Cole this season. Blue Jays pitcher Robbie Ray has won the award nearly unanimously with 29 first-place votes. Corbin Burns won the award on the NL side. The MVPs will be awarded tonight as well. Deep in the heart of Texas is where Justin Verlander has decided to stay. The Astros ace reportedly agreed to a 1-year, $25 million contract yesterday with an option for a second year worth the same value. The Mets and Yankees reportedly had interest, but ultimately he stays in H-Town. Today in sports history, Sandy Koufax announced his retirement due to an arthritic left elbow. The Dodgers lefty pitched 12 years. The MSU men's basketball team dominated Valley Forge yesterday by a final score of 115-73. A true team effort with 6 players recording 11 or more points for the Redhawks. The boys are back in action this Saturday at Centenary University.
That's right. The Red Hawks, them.
Stop.
They bonked them.
They bonked.
They bonked them. Hey, Lara,
Hey,
would
Kenny.
you say I'm the manager of this show?
I guess you. Well, you're not the
I'm
manager,
not
but I
the
guess
manager.
you're a manager.
I'm a manager. You know who else
You
is a
manage.
manager?
You manage. There's Morning Buzz.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Do you want to use your transition now?
Yes.
He's so excited.
John
for what?
Krasinski. John Krasinski revealed that he refused to shoot a Jim and Pam plotline on The Office because fans would never come back. According to Brian Brummer's new book, I'm sorry.
Baumgartner,
Baumgartner. I'm sorry.
not Brummer.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
I am very sorry. New book, Welcome to Dunder Mifflin, the ultimate oral history of The Office. A plotline for the show's 8th season episode, After Hours, involved Jim cheating on Pam with her maternity leave replacement, Kathy Sims, who was played by Lindsey Braun. But John Krasinski wasn't having it. He said, quote, "That was the only time I remember putting my foot down. I remember saying things that I never thought I'd say before, like, I'm not going to shoot it," end quote.
Thank God.
I
Yeah, that
know.
would've been- if
I don't
that
know.
happened,
No
I mean,
one would
I
ever
haven't,
like Jim again.
Exactly.
I haven't
I'm
really
sorry.
watched the later seasons of the show, but if that happened, I would just not.
I have.
I'm sorry, isn't
And-
Jim the one that's constantly in trouble for making how do I be compliant with FCC innuendos the entire
No,
That's Michael
That's
Scott.
Michael.
That's the boss.
Michael.
okay, never mind.
But no,
That's
I
the
watched.
boss.
I was a person who watched the entire Office.
You seem like it.
Thank you. But I watched the
I
entire.
have to.
Yeah, I watched the entire thing, and I don't think I'd. I think I'd stop watching at that point
yeah,
if that actually happened.
Yeah. I can't understand the thoughts that go through a writer's room sometimes.
I think writers sometimes are just so concerned with like stirring up a pot, and it's how we get stations like the CW.
Would you
That-
say they're trying to write something up?
Larry, you've been doing so good.
the entire show was
Why you calling me? I'm right.
I am right.
That's why I played it.
Thank you.
the entire show was building up this relationship. Like, there's great episodes with them, and they would just destroy it with this one episode in
That's-
the 8th season.
That's what I'm saying.
I
That
don't know
like
who thought that was a good idea.
that's exactly what I was thinking. And if they actually did that, that'd feel like some Game of Thrones type stuff. Anger.
What happened to Game of Thrones? I've never seen it. I don't have HBO.
I'll tell you later.
Why don't you just tell me now?
I guess it's been out for a while. So you know Daenerys Targaryen?
No,
Okay. Well,
I don't. Like I said, I don't have HBO.
I'll explain it to you later. It's a lot. But
Oh, are you in for an explanation?
I'm-
Kenneth?
JT, I'm glad you mentioned the CW because I'm glad The Office wasn't on the CW because I feel like the CW would just destroy.
If it was
Make it edgy.
CW, it would be. If the Office was on CW,
Listen.
it would be it would instead of actual adults, it would be a bunch of college radio kids.
Exactly.
And instead of normal adult plot lines, there would just be stuff like, "Oh, what were you doing with Pam in the dorm room? But Jim's a commuter. Why would you be in there?"
No.
It's
You
just
have-
that type of stuff.
See, that's an idea for a great show.
Don't no
We're-
no.
Not the
We're gonna
CW though.
film- we're just gonna film around the station and just post it somewhere.
No, CW.
Speaking of the CW, I have beef with Riverdale.
Like
I have-
everyone else.
No, I watched the first season. It was great. I thought it was pretty good, decent, actually. And I said, oh, let me watch season 2. Season 2 tanked all of my expectations. And I see my YouTube recommendations are doing what one was Veronica saying Archiekins for 5 minutes straight. And I'm so glad I stopped watching.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Get some help.
I think I watched Riverdale. The first season was good, but like I'm a loyal person. It takes me a while to actually admit when something is horrendous. And it took me till season 4 to like, I can't do this to myself. It's no longer a guilty pleasure. It's like, why? It's like a 50-year-old man watching Blue's Clues. It's just
You
why?
watched it for that long?
Yes, I'm sometimes ashamed of myself. Not even sometimes. I'm often ashamed of
Oh,
myself.
JT.
I know.
It's
It's a
okay.
condition.
Okay. The only good show on the CW was Supernatural and possibly The Vampire Diaries, but I didn't watch it.
No, but it's just like the CW has a track history of starting off strong with the first season.
And they just milk out the. Listen, I don't think Supernatural needed 15 seasons, but it's a great show.
Is
And I'm a Dean girl. For all of you Supernatural fans, I am 100% a Dean girl. But that's why I had high expectations for Riverdale.
yeah.
What was The Office on? NBC?
NBC.
Yeah. Thank God it wasn't on the CW. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. There's so much CW slander right now.
How do you all feel about The Office?
I think it's a great show.
Great show.
I think it is
I
the
haven't
most
watched it.
overrated show
Yeah.
ever.
No,
Original-
that's
I haven't.
Friends.
Kelly, you haven't watched
No.
The
Yes,
Office?
that's
I
Friends.
have not.
No,
Friends is
because
not
a lot
good.
of people are aware of how overrated Friends is.
No, they're not the way they.
No,
Yes, they are.
They're not. I
Talking
see.
about it right now.
see. If I counted the amount of people I see in Friends hoodies walking around this campus,
My senior merch.
if I had
is-
$1 every time I saw someone in a Friends hoodie, I could pay off my entire tuition by tomorrow.
There was a
I've
I've
never
kid
seen
in my
anybody
high
wearing a Friends
school
hoodie here.
who
I
tried
see
to
it all
like
the time.
redo
Or something
the.
related to this.
Why wore Dunder Mifflin socks yesterday?
I did. They were great.
There was this kid in my high school who tried to do our on the news team. Like we had like the media team was like together for 4 years. He tried to remake the intro that we had been using for 2 years straight. He tried to remake it into but like the Friends theme song.
No.
So
No.
he tried it. I think it aired twice.
They
and
did that in my school. The
We
exact
we
thing.
kicked him off.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I
We're
see-
not doing that.
A lot of people do wear Friends merch, but it's funny. It has its moments, but it also doesn't have its moments, and that's why I wear a Seinfeld shirt. And I'm sorry.
The Office is the most overrated show ever.
Oh, 100%, but it's good.
It's a good show. Don't get me wrong, but it is so overrated, and it makes me annoyed when people are like, "It's the best show ever made." No, it's not.
No.
People
but
say
I
that
like
was
it.
Friends.
No, it's not. Not
I
at
think
all.
my favorite online and one of my favorite online interactions was when Jennifer Aniston made a tweet that said, "Don't vote for Kanye West. It's not funny." And he quote tweeted it with, "Neither was Friends."
Whoa! Place.
Oh yeah!
I mean,
Yay, got you there.
yay.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
That's
That is great.
bold.
Why you pouring me? I'm right.
Literally.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
I couldn't watch the entirety of Friends.
I could. I don't think I have.
I couldn't.
I've
watched
watched. Yeah.
season
thi-
3.
I watched most of The Office, but I haven't watched seasons 8 or 9 because I can't really do it without Michael Scott. I'm
Honestly,
sorry.
I couldn't do it either,
I
but I
watched a
did.
couple episodes. I was like, this isn't that funny because he was the main character and he left. So
Mhm.
People are like, what's your favorite TV shows? Everybody's like, I love The Office. I love Supernatural. I like Stranger Things. Me, I like South Park and the Boondocks.
Fair.
South
Like
Park is
Avatar.
great.
Water,
Earth.
fire.
One
Long
time,
ago, the 4 nations lived
With
together
in harmony.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
and
And
watched it in a
everything
while.
changed when the Fire,
Fire
Nation,
Nation attacked.
Only the Avatar,
Avatar.
master of all 4 elements, could something.
Stop him.
one time I
When
left
the
my
world needed
ID in
him,
my
he
room
vanished.
and I knocked on the door. My roommate looked to the people and said, "Okay, here's the deal. I'm not opening the door until you list the elements from Avatar in the right order." And I had only watched 3 episodes at this point. So I was like, fire, nope.
I remember you told me.
I think I like went through like all the possibilities I could go through. He was just like, I was like, fire, no. Water. Okay. What's next? Fire. No.
Nope.
I still can't remember it.
It's okay.
And you just did it.
Anyway, we're gonna jump to a quick break. We'll be back here in the morning buzz. Who doesn't like sipping on coconuts? I'd sip on a coconut if I got the chance. What? It was what the promo said.
Pineapples.
Sip on pineapple.
I
How do you
sip on-
sip on a pineapple.
I
Same
sip
way
on
you sip on a coconut.
I sip on pina coladas and getting caught in the rain.
Do you like
Pina
pina coladas?
coladas.
I love that song. Happy
Getting
that I'm doing that for happy hour
caught.
next week.
You are?
I know.
I still
love
need to
that
think
song.
about what I'm
Whenever-
doing for happy hour.
Whenever-
I usually don't know. Anyway, we have more stories.
Yay, we're talking about speeders.
Speeders.
Spiders.
Eaters.
An Australian zoo gets mega spider capable of piercing human fingernails.
Oh.
Hopefully,
Love that.
hopefully those girls with those long acrylics don't interact with this spider. An Australian zoo has a new addition that is getting mega attention. A mega spider that measures 3 inches from foot to foot with fangs that are nearly an inch long. Officials say at the Australian Reptile Park in Somsby, did I say that correctly?
Which one?
The town.
Summersby.
Summersby? I was close. New South Wales said that the arachnid is the largest funnel web spider in the park it has ever seen. Its jaws are reportedly so strong they can pierce human fingernails. Again, we do not know if they are wearing acrylics or not. She's unusually large, quote. And if we can get the public hand in more spiders like her, it will only result in more lives being saved due to the huge amount of venom they can produce. Michael Tate, the park's education officer, told CNN, "We are really keen on finding out where she came from and hopes to find more massive spiders like her," end quote. The park said it will milk the spider's venom, send it to a pharmaceutical company in Melbourne that it will turn into anti-venom spiders.
Spiders.
I like spiders.
You like spiders?
They're okay. I'm scared of them, but I think they're good for the ecosystem.
Well, by that logic, pretty much everything is.
Yeah,
Except I'm still
Except
convinced
seagulls.
mosquitoes don't have a
except mosquitoes.
mosquitoes. I'm pretty sure they don't have a use. He said seagulls.
Seagulls. No.
Not the
Yeah.
seagulls.
What are mosquitoes used for, honestly?
Mosquitoes are used for
Annoying.
more than seagulls.
A spider's little snack.
See,
Oh, yeah.
mosquitoes.
I didn't
solve
think about it.
Here's
In the, I
my-
didn't think about it in the inverse.
Here's my Friday afternoon snack.
Like if we
Cheese
get rid of
for the morning?
mosquitoes, the spiders don't have a meal. If we get rid of seagulls, the world will be restored to peace.
Will it
If
though?
we get rid of
Yes.
seagulls, everyone will keep their meals.
Exactly. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I went to the beach and I had my bag of pretzels from Whole Foods just pecked at and just ripped, and it was very scary.
Every time I see a seagull, I just get angry. It's yes, your segment host hates seagulls. For any of you seagull listeners out there, I'm on to you.
But yeah, this little speeder, it's 3 inches. So how big is that?
I think isn't it like an inch about the size of one's thumb? So if like multiply that by
Do you want me to be a nerd?
Yes. I sounded way too excited.
It's about is that about 7.62 centimeters.
How did you
I know it's 2.54 centimeters in an inch.
again, don't understand how your brain works,
I don't either.
but that's really cool. Mhm.
No, it's not cool.
Could you just imagine seeing that spider? Like I freaked out over spiders that I can barely see.
I
Yeah.
freaked
Just
out over-
imagine you just like to go in and take a shower,
I freak out
and
over
then that
bees.
spider just like crawling bees.
Oh, did I tell you the bee story?
No, let's
Okay,
hear it. Wait,
so-
is it anything like the bee movie?
No.
Dang it.
Like jazz.
I mean, I guess I like jazz. But yeah, there was this, I was just putting my sweatshirt on because I was cold and I feel something like tickle me. I'm like, okay. And I see it is a bee, a bumblebee, at least 2 inches big, maybe an inch. And I'm like, oh, hey, girl, get off. And I just kind of swat her off of me. Yeah, she was just vibing. She was like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and vibe. I'm kind of glad it wasn't this spider in Australia. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god.
I don't think I
There
could
was
ever go
one
to
time-
Australia.
They've
there was
got
one time- it was
spiders
actually the
bigger than
first
my
time-
head.
It was actually the first time I got stung by a bee. There
Oh,
was two bees that went onto my finger. One I flicked off, the other stung me, and it was right after a baseball tournament.
he
You know-
really said, "Don't do that to my friend." Zap.
Yeah,
You know how people, when a mosquito lands on them, they'll smack them and kill them?
Yeah.
I had a cousin. makes it sound like he's dead. I have a cousin who
I'm
does
sorry.
that to bees
Why?
and doesn't get stung. He's
Is he
never
the
been
bee
stung.
whisperer?
It's okay though. It's okay
More
though
like the
because
bee
after it,
assassinator.
Have you ever
It's
heard the
okay.
assassin bug?
No.
It's a thing in Texas. My brother lives in Texas, so I know about this.
Of
Of course, it's in Texas.
Texas-
Whenever something goes wrong, it's either Texas, Alabama, or none
What's-
other than Florida.
What's that song that Sandy sang in SpongeBob about Texas?
Wish
I wanna go
was back
home.
in Texas.
Yes.
In Texas, they have something, and not only in Texas, but it's very, I wouldn't say well known, but it's in Texas. It is called the assassin bug. The assassin bug is able to bite you without you knowing. It doesn't leave a mark, doesn't do anything. It's very small. After it bites you, 20 years later, you will die.
What?
What?
Whoa.
It will slowly start to kill you. And you can't detect its effects
Ooh.
until it's too late.
Ooh. That's scary.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
terrifying.
I'm never moving to Texas now.
Well, my brother's been living there for like 6 years, and he's probably fine. Well, he was supposed to find out at like 15.
Nice math.
Yes, it's 14, but whatever.
Y'all remember that episode of SpongeBob where Sandy murked SpongeBob and Patrick for roasting Texas? Why
Yeah.
was that a thing? That is a very much needed criticism. Like, I don't understand that episode. Texas has just
Honestly, I feel like that's a lot, like just for half of the SpongeBob episodes. Oh, you know the one with the butterfly or the moth
Wormy.
that Sandy had? Yes. Okay, when they had that footage of the actual moth butterfly, as a kid, I'm like, ooh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no buggies for me. But I would admire from a distance.
I'm
Just-
never moving to any place that has like a giant bugs. Like Australia, I'm never going to.
what?
I think you're all crazy, and I think you're all really crazy because you got to be able to experience the world. And part of experiencing
Yeah,
the
but
world.
there's a mega
No,
spike.
I will. I
don't
will
like
probably
it
go
has
to
things that are
Australia.
nearly an inch long. Like that scares me alone.
Whatever.
Want to experience the world? Move to New
Whatever.
York.
Move to-
Whatever. It's fine. Danger is fun.
Listen, danger
like
Do
to
is
live your-
not listen to
Jump-
me.
Do you like to
Jumping
live your
off-
life on the edge?
jumping
Kenneth?
off of
A
buildings.
little bit.
Jumping
That's
off
nice.
of buildings is fun. Sleeping on the wrong side of bed on purpose is fun. Messing with people that shouldn't be messed with in context could be fun.
JT.
Messing with giant bugs, not fun.
JT, what did you say that you were before?
A social no, not that one. The walking definition of do not try this at home.
JT gets it.
Yeah, do not try this at home or in your car or anywhere.
I think when I was the funniest thing that I did that I had to learn that from, I think I was second grade. I've taken a couple of tumbling gymnastics class, but I was never really trained in it. But I thought of myself an expert anyway. So one time I go, you know what? I have a feeling like I could do a backflip. No training, no preparation, no spotter, no anything. I go into my backyard. I proceed to do a backflip. And you want to know what happens? I jump backwards straight onto my head. And that probably explains a lot.
Was it just on the
I've done
ground?
that. I did that exact same thing one time. I did it in front of my crush because I wanted to impress her. It did not turn out.
Was
well.
this when you were 12
It was exactly.
and
when I
you
was
didn't
12.
sing her the Beatles or something?
No.
I
Well,
remember you
I
mentioned that.
How you mess up twice? You don't sing at the Beatles
No,
and then
you
you jump
sang.
onto your head.
No, you were singing the
It wasn't the
Beatles
same
for
time.
class because you knew
I
the
had
words.
to sing. Yeah, I was the only person in the class who knew the words to the Beatles songs, and we did the Beatles rock band. In my sixth grade middle school class. Well, wasn't middle school, sixth grade music class. And that same year, I had a crush on her, so I was like, I'm gonna impress her. So we're walking back from recess. So I'm just do a flip. It did not work. I went on a bunch of rocks.
Oh, at least I ran it
It's
on
good.
grass.
Good.
Yeah,
Did
good
she
effort.
ask if you were okay
Good
after?
effort.
Nah, she just ignored me.
She just walked away.
Nice.
Yeah,
He then asked her to promise.
know how
I'm
to pick
sorry, I
'em,
only
Kenneth.
date boys who can land their flips. And he just
that's exactly what happened.
Oh my god, really?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Good. It's okay. It's with the good effort. Good effort.
Yeah, at
Great
least you
job.
try it. Like, this is what life is about. And in the process, we'll give ourselves brain damage. We'll knock off
Maybe
a
next
couple
time
of
don't-
years off of our life, but it's okay.
Well, now I'm self-conscious and I'm sad. So
Maybe
we're gonna
next
go
time
we're gonna,
don't,
so we're
don't
gonna go
run
to
on-
so we're gonna go to a PSA. Weird news,
I'm kidding.
but more or less, yes, chaos. That's what it means. Lyra, please give us our first weird one of the day.
A hitchhiking roadrunner somehow ends up in Maine. Yes, you heard that right. Maine. The Great Roadrunner.
Oh, wow, that's the thing that's surprising.
I think that's surprising, actually.
Yeah, not the fact there's a hitchhiking roadrunner. No,
No,
Maine.
it's in Maine.
Yeah. Oh, watch out.
What?
I thought Roadrunner was a fake bird.
That was that. What was that? Last week or the week before?
Yes,
Last week.
Grr. Anyway, the Great Roadrunner.
Wrong.
Thank you. Roadrunners are real, and it is a species native to southwestern states. Hitched a ride in the storage area of a moving van from Las Vegas to Westbrook, Maine. Volunteers took the bird to Avian Haven, a bird rehabilitation center in Maine. The Haven representatives say that they took the call about the bird on November 13th, and it continued to rest Tuesday. They said on Facebook the bird was in remarkably good shape for having been stuck in a van for 4 days. It's possible the bird might have lost weight during the journey. The center is looking ways to return the Roadrunner to Nevada once it is healthy enough, but in the meantime, they created a special habitat for the bird. Hopefully there are no coyotes in Maine.
Did you put that there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I
Who else
figured.
would have put it there? Not you, Kenneth.
I wouldn't have thought of it.
Really witty. God, this place is going with the dogs.
Why do you just turn British sometimes?
No,
That was from
she
Harry
supported
Potter. I
Harry
knew.
Potter.
Whoa.
Sorry.
you.
Well, even then you do turn British
I
sometimes.
do. It's
Because they're
quite
British.
fun.
We have to talk.
Yo, there is coyotes that live in Maine.
Might.
Coyotes live in Maine?
They do?
Yeah. The Maine
What?
the Maine government website says biologists estimate there are at least 12,000 coyotes living in Maine.
Are there any in Westbrook, Maine?
Oh God. Can
I'm
I
sure there's at
domesticate
least
a
one.
coyote?
What?
Can we domesticate a coyote?
Wild
Like imagine having a
With enough
dog that
time.
laughs.
Here's
I don't think. I don't know.
With enough time.
Is it worth it? We have dogs.
But like coyotes laugh. Like imagine just like
I think you're thinking of a hyena.
I hate dogs.
oh yeah.
We know, Kenny.
I know, but I just want to bring this up because dogs are awful.
Dogs are amazing.
I hate dogs with a
I
passion.
love dogs.
There's a lot of problems with dogs.
That's your opinion. Your opinion may not be correct, but it is your
My
I
opinion.
love
opinion is
dogs, but I'm
correct.
a
I hate
cat
dogs.
person,
Okay.
like,
Well, I love
kitties-
dogs. So we are on opposite
Yeah,
ends of the
cat person.
spectrum.
Dogs are bad.
No,
Because-
they're
How?
not.
how
Yes, they are. They're bad because they don't leave you alone.
But they love you.
I don't care.
Listen, my dog
Wow.
leaves me alone. He goes and sleeps on the couch
My
on the floor.
dog-
He's just
Just pretend like you don't even like
don't-
me, like a cat. A cat,
don't
you
know
have
if
to-
my dog
a
knows
cat
I
knows
exist.
it's better. You have to work for a cat to love. A dog's just like.
I don't know if my dog knows I exist. She just tries to kill me.
oh, what kind of?
Are you sure you don't have a cat?
Are you sure you don't
No.
have a
Yeah,
wolf?
cats think they're the
doesn't-
boss, and they're not.
She doesn't
They're
try
just
to
tiny
kill
little
me.
fur balls
She
that are
tries
stupid.
to. She tries to. We have to put her outside when people come over.
Here's the thing between cats and dogs. It's the real measure is how and what they do if they don't like you. Owners never know because if you have an aggressive animal, 9 times out of 10, the animal's not going to be aggressive to you. That's why they're blind. I've been in houses where dogs don't like me, and I've been in houses where kitties don't like me. If a cat doesn't like you, it's going to leave you alone unless you provide it with a clear opportunity, and then it's your fault, but they'll leave you alone. If a dog doesn't like you, they will not leave you alone the
Exactly.
entire time you're in that house.
Thank you, JT.
They will try and kill you the entire time and
They're
until you leave.
protective.
I don't care if they're protective. I have no bad intentions. They're just screaming at me and they won't leave you alone.
My
If they-
family didn't get a dog.
Now, when a
for-
dog loves you, it's like the best thing in the
No,
world.
it's not
Exactly.
because they also don't leave you alone. They don't
My
have their
family
own
didn't-
personal space. A cat, when they like you, they'll stay with you. But if you don't want it to, it'll be like, all right, cool.
Kenneth,
My
dog
family
has
didn't get a
personal space.
dog for a
What?
solid.
Actually, no. If a cat
speaking.
knows
6
you don't,
years
if a cat
because-
doesn't like you, they'll leave you alone. But if a cat wants to be around you and they pick up that you don't like them, they will make sure to spend the most time around you.
That's not true. I have 5 cats. And I know that to not be true.
Oh, Kenny's a cat lady.
I am a cat lady. Didn't you call me a cat lady?
I did. I called you cat lady yesterday. I called you a crazy cat lady.
Yes.
The
I've been,
crazy is
called,
important.
I've been called cat lady a lot.
Have you been called
I
a
love
crazy
the
cat
cat.
lady?
Probably just don't remember.
I want
Okay,
a
well,
cat so
I'm gonna call you a
bad.
crazy cat lady just so you remember.
No, actually, I want a
Dogs
monkey
are
more than I
awful.
want a cat.
Hot take.
Okay.
Okay.
However you stand
You
on
don't
the
like
cat or
chocolate
dog
too, so-
situation, all we need to know is monkeys are superior to both.
My aunt had a monkey.
Really?
I want a monkey
She's
so
like
bad.
90 something.
My mom follows this monkey on Facebook. She always just shows me videos.
I want like the one from Night at the Museum, like the one that's about like
Yes.
yay high. and-
Yay.
Like,
Yeet.
Yee. Like you could
How
train it. Like
Yeah, but-
imagine being a pizza delivery guy and the door opens and it's just a monkey.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
Imagine
delivered
that's what I-
pizzas. I would not know how to react.
Imagine trying to rob a house and it's not an owner that confronts you, it's a monkey.
Don't mess with a monkey.
No,
Yeah,
don't
no.
do it.
No, monkeys, they're vicious. They'll tear you apart.
Don't
There
do
are
it.
stories where people get wild monkeys and they try to make them a pet and then they get
Well,
killed.
that's why you don't get a wild monkey.
My point is, it's hard to domesticate a monkey.
That's what makes it fun. I'm a person that invites.
Oh, I would
challenge.
100% do it. Don't worry.
would. And it's just like I invite challenge, and some people are just scared of challenges. That's why I'm like, people don't like challenge, and that's the problem. You don't hate cats, you just hate rejection. That's why people love dogs. They don't like challenge, they don't like a fight. And if a dog likes you, like Kenny put it out, they never leave you alone. And
Dogs just
people-
don't leave you alone in general.
And people's insecurities are met with doggies. And I understand that. But they don't want a cat because a cat will tell you to get out of your face. They don't want a monkey because a monkey will say, care for me now or your entire house gets torn apart.
I do want a cat though. I do want one cat.
Cats are the best.
I want one cat and then the rest probably dogs.
They're tiny little dumb fur balls. I think they're in charge of you.
I want to get.
Oh,
a-
they're not dumb. Cats.
No,
Well,
they're
they're
not
dumb in
dumb.
the way that they do things sometimes. No, they're very, very smart. They're smarter than dogs.
By far.
Yeah, which isn't saying much, I think. I think dogs can be decently smart, but a cat is just sometimes just watching cats, I'm like, wow, those things are smart, except for my one cat. That oh my god.
Which
he's-
one, Kenny?
Crash, he's mine.
Crash Bandicoot. We
Yeah,
talked about this yesterday.
Crash is as dumb as a stump.
Oh,
Crash makes bricks look smart.
stop.
He does. He does. I once watched him lick plastic.
Did he like it?
Ew.
Well, it was a fountain kind of thing, and it was supposed to shoot the water out. He was licking the top of it and not the water itself.
Aw.
He plays with his food. He'll throw it. I'm not even kidding.
Kenny, he's a special snowflake. Okay. Leave Crash alone.
He tries to play fetch, but he just goes to it. He just goes to the paper ball and he'll just stop and he'll come back. He'll pick it up in his mouth for
No.
2 seconds, drop it, and then come back without it.
Crash, this is not how we play fetch, okay?
He chases his tail.
Oh, so wait, so he's
it's a
he's a
dog
dog
and
like
cat's
cat.
body.
No,
I
he's
feel
a, he's a definite cat.
I feel like no one is gonna understand this, but have any of you seen Barbie, Prince, and the Pauper?
Yes.
Yes.
I love how
Okay, you
Kenny-
know
Sister-
Wolfie,
these are-
Erica's.
All those movies
Thing.
are what my sister played for a solid like 5 years. Was
Okay.
just all those Barbie movies. So I don't like the movies.
So you know Erica's little rascal Wolfie, right? And we don't know if he's a dog or a cat.
No, I don't.
No?
I've seen that movie. I don't remember it though. Last time I watched was probably
Ah,
12 years
I
ago.
see. But yeah, there's this. She has the one girl. She has a feline canine, and we can't tell if it's a dog or
Oh
a cat.
wait. Oh wait. Yeah, I looked it up. I remember that.
Right?
Oh,
That's the vibes
that's
you
a
gave
cat.
me.
That's a cat.
But he acts like a dog. Wait, so okay. So Crash is literally a dog like cat.
No, that's Sadie. Sadie is very smart. She's a dog-like cat. Goliath is also pretty dog-like. Crash, there's this test to see how smart your cat is.
No.
It's where you hold them up vertically and their legs, they can go out towards the wall. And if you slowly push them towards the wall, and if they stick their legs or arms out, whatever, they stick those out to stop them from hitting the wall. They're smart. Makes sense, right? I did that with all of my cats. Crash, he just kept going straight into the wall. And he
Aw.
never even, I tried like 5 different times. He just kept on being mushed and he didn't even care.
But
He
those
sounds
are
like
the
a mushy.
one of the
Oh,
best
he's my
animals.
favorite. He's
It's like-
he's the best.
Do you have I want to see a picture after.
He's beautiful. I'll show you a picture right now.
Yay! I love animals. Anyway.
I feel like if you did that with me, I would do that, but it's not because I'm not smart, it's just because I don't care.
Could you do it to a roadrunner? But a roadrunner hitchhiked.
Yeah.
So is
Who
the
picked up the road?
is the roadrunner smarter than the cats that we've been and dogs we've been talking about?
Yes.
Oh, here's a stupid crash
Oh, yeah,
picture.
definitely.
Right? Let me see. I'm looking at I'm going to see a very cute picture of a very cute cat. And I'm very
When he sees-
excited.
It's a weird picture.
Okay, I want
Let
to
me
see.
see.
Oh my gosh, so handsome.
He's a
Can't-
beautiful
Yeah, I
cat.
can't see it.
When
so-
you talk
sorry,
and
Tim.
describe
Too bad.
Crash, I think about that one Disney XD show that flopped, but I actually liked. That was called Crash and
you-
Bernstein.
my-
Yeah.
I remember that show.
What
I remember
a
that show. I
hand-
watched
Crash
it
and
all the time.
Bernstein?
I watched it all the time. Yes.
I used to love it. And when I look
Yes.
back, everybody says that show flopped. I can understand why, but it spoke
Yeah.
to my
Show was-
chaotic
It
side.
was a bad show,
this
but I
old
was
Disney XD show called Crash and Bernstein.
I remember that
the
show.
puppet with
I
the
never
puppet,
watched it, but I remember it.
I used to
the
love
purple
that
the purple
show.
puppet dude.
I was fully aware that it was bad, but I didn't care. I loved
Well,
it.
Yeah,
speaking of
I was 10. I didn't know.
well,
I saw a puppet running around and crashing into walls on a skateboard, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah, like Crash. His name was Crash, and then like Kenny's animal Crash. I like maybe that's where you got Crash from. Maybe you adopted it from the studio.
well, you said there was a puppet, right?
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah,
not
the
going to be
purple
talking
puppet.
about a puppet, but we will be talking about a teddy bear. Kenny, do you want to give us the next story?
No, because I want to show you one more picture of Crash. She's holding a wallet.
Oh my, what a little
Pick the puppy up.
businessman. Oh my gosh, so cute.
Now I'll tell you the next story. I've been
Oh my
showing Lara
God,
pictures of Crash for like 2
no,
minutes.
Lara.
A girl and her teddy bear are reunited
Lara
after a
girl.
loss in Glacier Park. So a little girl who lost her special teddy bear she had since she was adopted from an Ethiopian orphanage thought it was gone forever when she forgot it along a national park trail last year. Thank you, though, to the power of social media. A park ranger and the closure of a hiking trail because of grizzly bear activity on the same day a family friend visited the park. The teddy bear is back in the arms of 6-year-old Naomi Pascal in Jackson, Wyoming. Ranger Tom Mazzarisi found the bear, and he stated that many items that aren't worth much monetary value get thrown out, but he couldn't bring himself to get rid of the bear. Teddy hibernated in Mazzarisi's cabin in St. Mary, and when Mazzarisi returned to work in April, he immediately put him on the dash of my patrol truck.
I also read in this article that when he had to give the bear back, his wife got him a new teddy bear to put him on his dash, and that's just really cute.
I
see-
know a Mazzarisi. Now I gotta.
Isn't
ask
it
him
isn't
about
it funny how the teddy bear came back because of grizzly bear activity?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
that. Man, Lotso couldn't even make his way back to his family, but this teddy bear.
I hate
can.
Watson.
Yeah.
Oh, Watso,
forget
Watso
it.
slander on the table.
Does that mean yes or no?
Yes, I
No,
don't not. I don't
Watso.
like Watso.
Oh, okay.
No one does.
Lotso is just.
This is Crash
Lots of
staring
slander.
down Goliath.
Oh my gosh, are they having? Wait, you know that Spider-Man meme? That's like they're just looking at each other.
Sorry, I'm not going to stop thinking about Crash.
Okay.
This is him when
Kenny.
he got in the back of my dresser.
He's very. Oh, he's peeping cat.
He got
All
stuck.
right, show me after because
Yeah, you
I'm-
got to see him.
He got stuck.
I mean, speaking of animals, we may not be. We're talking about cats,
Yes.
but
embarrassed.
this millionaire pooch is selling a Miami villa once owned by Madonna. Gunther the German Shepherd is selling his Miami mansion that his handlers bought from Madonna. Gunther VI inherited his vast fortune, including the 8-bedroom waterfront home once owned by the Material Girl singer, from his grandfather, Gunther IV. The Tuscan-style villa with views of the Biscayne Bay went on sale Wednesday for $31 million, a barking markup from the purchase 2 decades ago from the pop star for $7.5 million. His real estate agent confirmed that Gunther lives in Madonna's former master bedroom. The mansion is yours if you have an extra $31 million lying around.
Why is
Hi,
there
Kenny.
dog? Why is there dog mansions?
I don't know, but sorry, Kenny,
There's
it's
there's
not a
people
millionaire
that
cat.
are
One
There's-
more Crash picture.
Yes.
This is it when
Why
the
are
first day I
dogs
got him.
richer than us?
And I'm saying
there's people that are that don't have houses, and this dog has a $31 million mansion to live in.
I see the Great Gatsby in the background.
That's when I tried to read a book. This
But
was
yeah, sorry, Kenny. It's not a millionaire cat. It's a millionaire pooch.
Sorry. All right, now I'm paying attention to the show
No,
again.
you're not. Oh, and we're getting off topic. I think my transition was pretty good.
It was a good transition.
Thank you. But yeah, anybody have $31 million?
So I'm
No.
I'm confused about something.
Okay.
How does a dog sell a house?
How does a dog?
It's
don't
just
know.
a millionaire pooch. How? Okay, wait. I misunderstood this entire thing. I did. The way I
don't-
took this, I saw it as
You thought the dog was selling the house itself?
yes, I did.
Is that not the story?
No, I
Yes.
think
No,
I
the
think
owners
it's a
are. Its
house
owners are selling
for a dog.
The dog just lives at Madonna's former house.
How do you get
In
a
the former
house for
master
a
bedroom, actually.
dog?
Imagine being Madonna and your house was sold and now a dog lives there by itself. Or not, maybe not by itself, but it's
I wonder
known
if
as the
Gunther
dog's
has any
house.
siblings.
Do you think Gunther's name is on the lease? Or the
Oh,
title,
100%.
whatever.
Sir Gunther, the
Dogs? No. We talk crap about dogs, but I do believe that dogs will take over. I do believe that. It was because I went to a friend's house and I went to use the potty. And guess who was occupying?
The dog.
The dog.
Yes.
Didn't
Nice.
The
see that
dog
coming.
was
Nice
sitting there.
shot.
And it was
I spent so
more-
much time with you.
It was more than just sitting there. When I opened the door, the look of "Get out, please. I'm using it." The dog gave me. I was like, "Excuse me."
Sorry, sir.
I looked at the dog. I was like, "Excuse me," and the look of "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Am I seriously fighting with a dog?" I picked it up, put it down, and then it just wants to look at me. I'm like, "What are we doing?" I've been thinking about that ever since it happens, and I'm just like, dogs are really about to take over. They're done with us. We've been dressing them up in ridiculous
Wait.
outfits. We've been
Oh.
oh my god. One of these days it's gonna be Dawn of the Planets of the Dogs. One of these days.
JT, you just reminded me of something. You know that Rick and Morty episode?
No.
Oh, where, okay, I'll explain it, but I think Rick makes a contraption so that dogs can communicate with humans and they take over the world, and they have to leave that, what is that? The word for it?
Dog.
No. Dimension. That dimension.
Oh
And they
yeah.
have to go to
It
another
starts
one.
same letter.
Yeah, exactly. So you just reminded me of that.
Of
This
course
dog
it's
is
a
on
Rick
its
and
way.
Morty show.
This dog is on its way, yeah. Not Rick and Morty. I have pickle Rick on my car. Anyway.
You have a
Can
pickle
you
Rick in your
imagine if,
car?
like, when
On
dogs
my
take
it's
over,
a car magnet.
Of course it is.
Can you imagine when dogs take over? They just like reverse.
All right, dogs are not going
people's-
to take over.
Yes,
First of
they
all.
actually.
No, they're not. If anything's
they're
going to take
not.
over, it's AI. I have a whole big thing against AI.
AI that's happening too. I think dogs and AI will work in harmony.
The dog AI revolution.
Do I have a sound effect for this?
Well, in that Rick and Morty episode, they kind of do.
It's the best I got.
I give it a C plus.
Wait, say it again.
What, dogs and AI will work in harmony?
Now that
There
is
we
an A, right? That's an A.
It's going to happen.
Good
and
job,
when it
Ken.
No, it's not
happens-
going to happen.
No, and when it happens, I'm gonna join my fellow brothers in caninery. and
Caninery.
When it happens,
Are you a canine?
when it happen
Yes.
when it happens, it's just
Mark.
gonna be
Well, you are JT Untamed.
Hey.
we're
B.
just gonna be sitting
Please
here.
cancel my Spotify. I need listeners.
We're not allowed to advertise people. You can't say that. That was not an advertisement.
That was
No,
a
that was not an
statement.
advertisement. That was a cry for help.
Okay. I mean, does that work?
That is technically allowed. So I won't.
She won't say no.
Yes, it is. Is it still Mental Health Month? No, that was September. What is this?
Not
month?
mental health.
It's
month
not breast
anymore.
cancer, it's not
It
mental
is
health, it's-
Indigenous Peoples Month.
Oh, respect to all of my indigenous people out there.
Hmm.
So
Well,
let's watch a bear wander to a 7-Eleven and casually trigger the hand sanitizers.
I was trying to come up with the transition, but
Sometimes the funniest thing is to just say it.
cool.
So Black Bear, right?
Not the artist, an actual black bear.
Oh God.
Thank you for actually differentiating that.
Anytime.
I hate that guy's name.
Why? Well, I like it.
I
Yeah,
think it's awful, and
why
I
is it
hate that
quirky?
it's all
Black Bear.
lowercase.
Well, let's talk about an actual black bear now.
Do you
Yeah,
hate it more
yeah,
than
tell me.
Jaden
Yeah.
with an X?
Oh, you want me?
Yes. What'd you say?
Do you hate it more than Jaden with an X?
I hate Jaden with an X more.
Good. 'Cause-
Jixton.
So a black bear pulls open a door to a convenience store and just wanders inside. A woman recording exclaims, quote, "Oh my goodness. He knows how to open it," end quote, as he enters the 7-Eleven in Olympic Valley, California. Thankfully, this bear was mindful that we're still in a pandemic. So the bear triggers the hand sanitizer dispenser and just has a few drops on its little head. Then the bear sniffs out the freezer, placing its little paws on it while standing on its hind legs, ready to place his order. The bear is unfazed, while the woman just shrieks. Ah,
I'd like to stop there real quick
Yeah.
and say that in the script she spelled shrieks wrong.
I bet she wouldn't have had a problem if it was a polar bear.
What?
I hate how that went right over your head.
Jeez. That was
All right, just continue.
he later leaves the 7-Eleven after he gets a large Slurpee. Just kidding, he did not get a Slurpee to go
Aw,
dumpster
man.
diving. The video was posted on TikTok, so you already know there's some funny comments, such as, quote, he needed the bare necessities, and quote, he opened the door with his bare hands, end quote.
Forget about your
See, we
worries.
just talked about dogs.
necessities, simple bare
Did you go through puberty again?
We just
I did.
Congratulations.
we just
Thank
talked
you.
about dogs and other animals taking
Lions?
over. Let's talk about bears taking over.
Lions
I don't
Well, I
think
want to
bears
say,
are
I
gonna
want,
take over.
I want to re-say the quote that Lara said because I think she didn't give enough justice. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
He knows how to open it.
Yells.
I didn't listen to the video. I just assumed that's what happened
I
because
did not
I
notice.
would scream if I saw a bear.
Oh
Yeah.
my lordy!
Or
I
what
think
if Linda Belcher was just in the 7-Eleven? Oh my goodness, he knows how to open it.
He knows how to open it.
I think we give bears a bad rap. They just want to chill.
They want to vibe.
Yeah.
Like they're just a vibe. Have you seen? We don't see a lot of
They
bear
were trying
attack videos. We just see bears vibing.
We just have Winnie the Pooh.
Especially
trying to get
bears
the
who live
teddy
near
bear back.
residential areas. Now, if you see a wild bear, that might be a different story. But like bears who live like around places like this where they just casually walk into a 7-Eleven, they're not even paying attention to you
Ooh.
screaming. They're probably just like shopping, like, oh my god, if this lady doesn't shut up. It's like they're like people at the subway.
He's like, yeah, I just want to get some beef jerky.
He was on his way to bring the teddy
Wow.
bear back to the girl.
Nice. That was a good one.
No, he
Like,
probably said,
Nice.
He just stopped at 7-Eleven.
Nice shot.
Everyone stopped at 7-Eleven at
I was
some
gonna
point
say
during
something.
drive.
Rats.
See, Tanner said that bears might take over. I don't think they're interested in taking over. I
Oh.
think they're just chilling.
Have you seen those videos of bears
7-Eleven.
in people's pools just
Yeah.
swimming around? Yeah.
My
One of them
uncle
went to-
has that happen to him.
Really? Did he have a slide?
No.
Oh, because sometimes they go down the slide and it's really cute.
I wish I saw that.
Yeah, I'll send you the video. I'll try to find it.
If we domesticated bears, I gotta stop. I need to be stopped.
Let's not.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Only on the Thursday morning buzz.
Is that from Santa Claus?
Emperor's New Groove.
That one.
Oh. Nah,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
have to
Oh, coming
I
together.
don't know. I said before, when I become rich, I'm just gonna be that rich guy that just has like random exotic animals just like chilling. You're gonna come to my
Mike
house
Tyson?
and there's just like a panther, just like
Mike Tyson with 2 tigers.
yeah, like I'm just gonna have a panther just chilling there in my living room.
Just make sure it's
like,
pink.
Like, oh,
Could you
come in.
wait, JJ? Could you bear it?
Can I make the worst transition I think I'm ever going to hear in the show?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have permission. Why am I asking permission? I'm in charge of the
I
show.
guess you do.
So, bears, right? Bears, they can be gummy bears, and sometimes it's gummy bears. They're vitamins, and the vitamins, a type of vitamin, is a Flintstone vitamin.
I actually really
Yay.
like that.
Lara goes to the next story.
A Florida man dressed as Fred Flintstone becomes a subdivision celebrity with his custom smart car, excuse me.
Oh, that changes everything.
Oh, yeah. Fred Flintstone knows how to time travel. Back in November of 2018, Don Schwartz drove around the Wessel Chapel area in a smart car that was customized to look a lot like the iconic Flintmobile. On November 4th, the Pasco sheriff found this opportunity as a photo shoot. The sheriff said in his Facebook, quote, a very special thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Don and Trina Schwartz for being such great sports. Dot, dot,
Yeah,
dot.
but do. I wanted to say it.
I know you did. End quote. Mr. Flintstone himself was found in his looks to be dressed up how do you say it?
Psychon.
Psychon IQ. I said it before, but here we go. Not only was the car dressed up, but he was dressed up as well.
I like that this comes from altdriver.com.
Yeah.
The guy's alt. He's different. He's the one. He doesn't get him.
Fred Flintstone got
How-
his driver's
how are you
license
at-
last
How are
week.
you?
Were you gonna
How are
sing
you a
that
different
song in
driver?
cursive?
I'm Fred
It
Flintstone.
was.
Why is it called cursive?
Because doesn't it sound like it's in cursive?
No.
It's all the
Right.
indie girls.
Y'all see
Oh.
that one video of Liz Gillies going off about seal singers, she calls them?
Seal singers.
She went on, it was one of the funniest videos I've seen, and she started off, like, I think I could quote it too. She goes, you guys remember a couple of years ago when every singer sounded like this? Here, 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 here. And then she goes on to say, yeah, now all the singers sound like they're from England. And when I look up interviews of them, they're not. And I think it needs a name. We'll call them seal singers. She is definitely outing Alessia Cara, Ellie Goulding,
Halsey.
Halsey.
Seal.
No, they did. What'd she
Calling
do?
out seal.
She did something for ABC for Disney night, and she sang Part of Your World, and she literally sounds like, I want to be where the people are. I'll show you later, but that's literally what she sounded like. And I'm just sitting there thinking, wow, she's unironically like this.
It's like you see them in interviews. I had to look up an Alessia Cara interview. And like first thing that pops up, of course, is Jimmy Fallon. And
What's wrong with Jimmy Fallon?
She sounds Loki like Lara. She's very like when she's not imitating Hermione Granger.
Thank you.
She's just like very like normal tone. And then she starts singing her song. And it's like, I'm sorry if I seem uninterested. And I'm like, when did you become Luna Lovegood in your music?
You're just the same as I am. But yeah,
I don't know how to
Fred
respond to
Flintstone.
that. So
Fred Flintstone.
you just
This one
put a thing in
from
Discord.
Fred
So
Yabba dabba do.
yeah, yabba dabba do. That's gonna have to do. This is the end of the morning buzz here at WMSC 90.3 FM. Please stay tuned. Tomorrow's show. Tomorrow is Caitlin Aristizabal and Cam Martin, who's listening right now. Hi, Cam. I hope you're doing all right. Have a good day,
Hi.
Cam, and have a good day, everybody else. Goodbye.
See ya.